Oh, it was actually one of the most painful decisions I had to take. But the problem was, I mean, to be honest, so sometimes you try to put on, I don't know, something for the media that is a bit like more, how can I say that? Like the polite way to describe that things doesn't work out anymore. And I mean, if like the vibe is gone and you can't like be together. I mean, the band is always like a relationship, and we completely grew apart. That was actually one thing. So there was a lot of fighting and whatever involved. And I mean, if that shit starts, of course you stick to that thing because it's still your baby. But in the end, it's like it has a huge impact on your creative side as well. And the band changed completely like in the end. And I would say like rehab, for example, even the scene that it started to feel different. That was not my baby anymore. That was not my home. So at some point I just picked up the guitar like to have something like something to cope with the feeling, that this is not my thing anymore. And I've realized, okay, shit, this is something that you haven't felt for such a long time. You feel something by writing music, by um, you got the chance like to express yourself again. And I just came to like the realization, okay, that's the reason why I started doing music, because I wanted to have a home, and this is not my home anymore. So I have to decide just I mean, as Electric Callboy back in the days was like, okay, this is something that pays my bills, it's my job, it's my whole existence. And I decided like, I'm not doing that anymore because it's not the reason why I picked music back in the days. So I have to leave, by realizing like writing the first stuff for Ghost Kid.
But as you mentioned, it was your livelihood in a way. So did it feel like a risk? And how do you look now back at the Ghost Kid debut album then? Because that was such a personal thing then, I suppose.
Oh, it was like a huge risk. It was like, I mean, I knew that it would be super fucking hard. And when I started Ghost Kid, um, I never knew like if I would be capable of writing a whole record on my own, kind of like. And that was something I don't know. I had to tell myself, give it a try. You can do that shit. And when I was gone, I mean, when I left, it was like, okay, there was so much, to be honest, there was so much frustration and anger that just wanted to get out. And this is what I put like completely in the debut album, everything I've experienced. It was such a relief to have a chance like to freely express what I felt. And um I think that was the point. That was like the first starting point where I learned like to walk in my own shoes, and that's the reason why this debut album is like so important to me. And yeah, but the journey became more and more crazy. So as soon as I left, I wrote this record. It turned out great. Then we wanted to release it. It's been released. The response was amazing. And then there was COVID and all that bullshit. So that was, I mean, in this process, since I started Ghost Kid, I've learned a lot, and I suffered the most that I've ever suffered, I think. But yeah, we're
But
still
I
there,
mean,
you know.
it's like a trial by fire, right? I mean, it's very difficult, but I can imagine that coming through
Exactly.
out at the other end, it must feel very, very liberating, or feel great that you just
Yeah.
managed to do that by yourself. And
It's fucking scary, and I'm still learning and evolving, but that was definitely not like an easy step to do. And what was crazy, even if I talk to a lot of people, sometimes they got advices and whatever. There was nobody on this fucking world, I mean, or nobody I was surrounded by who could give me an advice. It's so damn hard, like to have a solo project, being responsible for everything. You have to learn to be kind of like a boss. You the biggest mistake, or I would say the hardest part, was stop being too nice, because this is what I did in the beginning, and you have to protect yourself a lot more than you think if you're just doing that on your own. And all those struggles and all those, I don't know, doubts, you know, you have to find a way to deal with that. And the answer was always pretty pure. It was art. Every time I was sitting down writing tracks, the world was a bit more okay, you know, and this is what I've realized as well.